the best tool ever devised for understanding how the world works.
Science is a very human form of knowledge. We are always at the brink of the node.
Science is a collaborative enterprise spanning the generations. We remember those who prepared the way, seeing for them also.
If you're scientifically literate, the world looks very different to you, and that understanding empowers you.
There's real poetry in the real world. Science is the poetry of reality.
We can do science, and with it, we can improve our lives.
There's real poetry in the real world. Science is the poetry of reality.
The story of humans is a story of ideas that shine light into dark corners.
Scientists love mysteries. They love not knowing.
I don't feel frightened by not knowing things. I think it's much more interesting.
There's a larger universal reality of which we are all a part.
The further we probe into the universe, the more remarkable are the discoveries we make.
The quest for the truth in and of itself is a story that's filled with insights.
There's real poetry in the real world. Science is the poetry of reality.
We can do science, and with it, we can improve our lives.
There's real poetry in the real world. Science is the poetry of reality.
The story of humans is a story of ideas that shine light into dark corners.
From our lonely point in the cosmos, we have, through the power of thought, been able to peer back to a brief moment after the beginning of the universe.
I think that science changes the way your mind works, to think a little more deeply about things.
Science replaces private prejudice with publicly verifiable evidence. There's real poetry in the real world. Science is the poetry of reality.
We can do science, and with it, we can improve our lives.
super fat.
And inside there's a tummy and there's lungs. And what's that? That's a
Boy,
diaphragm.
girl.
A heart. That's the thing that goes dum dum. Dum dum. That is the whole body. A leg. Big leg. You're thirsty?
Who's this?
Diving bell. We go down with bags full of sand, and then when they want it to come back up, they release the sand. Want to go on the airplane? Mommy. We'll find baby.
Working on their watch. Some of them are actual things.
Type of plane that D.B. Cooper hijacked.
Which one, this one?
Yeah. Because the stairs that come out of the back for loading and unloading passengers. So during flight, he just had them lower the stairs and supposedly parachuted out. No, replica. But it's to scale.
Huh?
But it is to scale.
That's so cool.
Did we lose a kid? Come on.
Steven,
Here, Captain Steven. Captain Dad, I can't really have my baby on this ship.
like babies. A couple years ago, you were this big.
This right here. Bowling had fun. It was better than Europe. But Bowling wanted government funding. So cool.
Anything that can cut away and show you how it works.
Huh?
Anything that can cut away and show you like inside.
Oh, wow.
What passengers are able to see, train everything.
Recorded.
No, now I'm recording.
You're recording.
When the little red REC's on, that's recording. Now it's recording.
You're recording.
This button on the side here is the only one that controls recording and not recording. And you hit it, not me.
I didn't hit it.
So now I'm recording it.
I didn't hit it.
Speaking of recording,
Would you guys like some peanuts?
I thought they were Harry Kishner.
Oh, is this first class?
Air traffic control, you're cleared to take off.
Carry her in front of the plane. And want to hold her in front of the plane? I'll get some photographs. No. No, Sydney.
It's fine. It's fine.
Cogeneration plant that powers everything.
What's happening?
Do you want to run the Museum of Science and Industry's own power generation system? It's fun, easy to learn. I'll tell you what to do every step.
We have a set time. Brian has it.
counteract the vinegar.
Wadi, not luminol. Okay. Say, tell Grandpa you want water.
What do you want water? You're 86% water anyway.
Water because it's broken? I don't think so. Which one blew up? watching, Sydney?
Science, like any other activity, can have its frustrations because obviously you're not always right, and in fact most scientists are wrong a lot more often than they're right. But that's just the nature of learning something new. We really are, and at the moment right now where science is open doors, it's open to literally every person to exploration, trying to be creative. You have to, in some sense, be creative to advance knowledge into a direction where nothing exists. So I can't.
step up here and you can get a closer look at it. Barbecue time.
It's a baby pig.
That's it coming up with Mommy's tummy.
Didn't see that coming.
That's it drinking milk. She found that thing where you step on the light and it makes noise. I was looking at the lights when the back got his attention.
How are we looking at for time? Okay, we'll continue.
Want to sit in my lap? Honey, I'm not sitting down. Then you can sit in my lap while I watch the movie. Okay? I know, honey.
I guess we can. Sydney.
Okay, let's go. Alright everybody, welcome. I'm Miner Eddie. I'm your guide through old bed number 17. Now just to inform you, this is the museum's first exhibit. It opened up back in 1933. All the equipment you're about to see is real mining equipment. Some of it is over 90 years old, including what you're in right now. We know it as the man cave. And when this operated, anywhere between 30 to 40 men at a time would be used to enter the mine. Now it was actually a pretty dangerous trip for those guys because they had to do this without walls or a ceiling. All they had were the chains over your heads to hold on to, and that was necessary because if you didn't hold on to something, you'd hit those walls on the way down and get hurt. If you've ever heard the term getting the shaft, that's where it came from. Now something else that was missing at the time that we probably would have liked, something pretty simple, that was lights. Alright? Now if you're afraid of the dark, just raise your hands for me. Alright, great. I warn you, the jokes don't get any better, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, so anyway, this trip would last for an hour or two. It's a 600-foot trip down into the coal mine. And with pulleys, well, it took some time. But fortunately for you guys, though, we've managed to shorten it to only about a minute. And let's go ahead and make our... Yep. Yes. Alright, guys. Let's go ahead and make our way inside. An hour? Let's get to work, okay? Alright, now this is the rotary dump, an important room for our coal miners because it determines how much they get paid for the day. Now miners would come to work and everyone that came would have their own car. They knew which one was theirs by the number on the side. Once they filled up that car with coal, they would send it down this way. Now that car is going to stop once it reaches the center there, and at the bottom of the go. That's called the skip. What it's doing right now is weighing coal. That coal weight will be determined and recorded by the supervisor, who will then give the order to move down to that car. Now once that coal gets dumped, it is sent to a conveyor belt, which is what this race the surface for. Now higher than 1950, he paid somewhere between 70 to 75 cents per ton that he collected. Now even by today's 30 standards, they should say that's nothing. Consider how dangerous coal mining is. Danger that nobody's been coming was flooding. It's 600 feet underground. That's what's good for your water table. So you can hit a well. Now what makes it so bad for us is that water's got nowhere for it to go. And it's only, they've only got one way out too. So let me show you how we deal with water. Take a look over the rail there. Now if you look down to the floor, you'll notice a trench. It's called a sump. That's where the water is. The water will be returned to the mine. You notice those walls there, you see that they're wet. And that's to keep the dust down. Coal dust is very poisonous. Breathing in too much of it results in black lung disease. It is a very deadly disease. As a matter of fact, it is still the number one cause of fatality among miners to this very day. Alright guys, I'm going to come through here. Alright. Gotcha. So guys, now that we know about danger, let's do some safety training. This way, please.
Hey, we need to get another water pump. Start working this
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so now that we know about how dangerous coal mining is, we got to look for these dangers. Well, that should be easy because most of them can be seen. The worst danger of a coal mine can't go. As a matter of fact, you can't use any of your 5 senses to detect this danger. I'm talking about the threat of natural gas. There's 2 forms in the coal mine that we have to be mindful of. They're carbon monoxide and methane. Now, we didn't always have technology to help us, so we had to enlist some help. That help originally came in the form of small animals, canaries especially. We like them because they have small lungs and fast metabolism, and they are songbirds. That means if that bird stops singing, it's dead. And miners would assume that gas is in the room and get out of there quickly. But what happens if you don't feed an animal? It's going to die, right? Yeah, well, miners were actually pretty bad at feeding these birds. So most of the time they died of starvation down here, so they gave off false alarms. Bad idea, right? This method doesn't work. So in 1815, we created something new called the Davy safety lamp. Now this was invented by a British chemist named Humphrey Davy, who figured out different gases will burn at different fires. Well, different color fire, I should say. So most of the time when you see fire, it looks just like this. Yellow, orange, reddish. It's a mixture of nitrogen and oxygen. You got nothing to worry about because that's what we breathe. But when you turn on a gas-powered stove, a blue fire comes out of there, doesn't it? That is methane gas we're burning on your stove. So if this turns blue while in the coal mine, you might want to get out of there. However, I just told you a few seconds ago that methane is explosive. So fire might not necessarily be the best thing to look for this stuff, right? Now these lamps are anything but safe because of how fragile they are. A little bit of damage to these lamps could actually cause a huge problem. This lamp in particular has a hole in it the size of a dime. Let's see what that can cause. I want you guys to keep your eyes on this box, okay? Now I'm going to add some methane to the box. Now let's see what happens. Exactly. So in other words, you're walking around with an explosive. Now I'm going to let you guys in on a secret when it comes to these lamps, okay? This hook is not to hang it from the ceiling. You don't want to hang it by too near the coal, and you couldn't carry it in your hands. So usually it was carried on your belt. All right. So you've got an open flame only a few inches away from your body. Now, what makes this so dangerous is that thing could pop. You're gonna catch fire, right? Now, the last thing a coal miner will ever want to do if he catches fire is to stop, drop, and roll. Do that in a coal mine, you will set the entire place on fire. And if that happens, good luck. A mine fire is nearly impossible to extinguish. It can last up to 400 years. The United States is actually home to one of the longest burning coal mine fires on the planet. The town of Centralia, Pennsylvania went up in flames in 1962, and it is still burning as we speak. So, in the 1960s, we invented a new method called the pocket methanometer. There's a screen in the back that lets gas into it. I've never had this before. This is awesome. Yes. Yeah. So anyway, the screen goes in the back. Front tells us how much gas is in that room, and we don't have to worry about this thing blowing up in our pocket. This device, though, tells us that 1.9 means everything is fine. 2.0, and it is time to go. 5.0, it's gonna blow. But the only problem with these devices is they're pricey. They are 10 times the cost of the lamp. Now, miners were responsible for buying their own equipment, and you can find any that could afford one of these. That was until the state of Illinois became the first in the country to mandate that methanometers be purchased by mining companies for their employees and ban the use of that lamp. We started the movement. Unfortunately, it waited until 1996. All right, guys, on that note, it is time to head to the working phase of the mine. To get there, we're going to use the man trip, all right? Get the door for you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please watch your step as you enter the trail. Use either front end or front end. The service is going to be created. All right, folks, let's make our way out of here.
How long can this go on? Working in a coal mine, going down, down, down. Working in a coal mine, about to sit down. Working in a coal mine, going down, down, down. Working in a coal mine, about to sit down. Cause I think of this morning, calling coal by the dawn. But then Santa didn't go around. But you guys can't fall. How long can this go on? He said that we're in a coal mine, going down, down.
ladies and gentlemen. So the 1930s was the Industrial Revolution for the coal mining industry, which was a good thing, because if we didn't have them, these machines, all we'd have were picks and shovels to help us do this job. Quite frankly, not exactly what you would call efficient techniques, all right? So the first machine we're going to use is called the undercutter. It digs a hole 6 feet deep at the bottom of that wall, known as an undercut. It's going to help us for blasting. Next, the machine up here, called the face drill, makes a hole in the wall, and that hole would be for dynamite. Now, dynamite was handled by miners known as runners, who would light it, scream fire in the hole, and get out of there as quickly as possible. And newsflash, most of these runners were children, about the age of 10 years old, okay, because they had to be in very small spaces to do this job, all right? Now, who'd have thought, though, that dynamite was a bad idea down here? We won't use that anymore, but we will use compressed air. Same effect without a fireball. We're going to go ahead and put a canister in there or shoot it in there using a hose, and when that air explodes, that wall collapses thanks to the undercut. So now we use that machine behind you called the joy loader. The arms at the bottom will scoop up the coal into its conveyor belt, sending it on the way to the shuttle carts. But using these machines together will mean you're going to get a headache. So guys, if you don't like loud noise, cover up your ears. I'm about to turn on all 3 machines, and they get very loud, okay? Here we go. Kind of noise for 12 to 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. The first thing that you're going to lose, other than your mind, is your hearing. 80 to 90% of a miner's hearing was lost after just 1 year of work, and that's bad because a miner with hearing loss can actually suffer a fatal accident if they can't hear somebody warning them about something happening. So guys, we're going to change things up. We're going to move to the 1960s. This way, please. Now to get there, we're going to make our way through the cross step. Once you enter this tunnel, folks, keep your eyes to the ceiling. Miners find fossils all the time. We have to. This way, please. Look up. Look up. 3 to 5 football fields long. Now that means they got to bring them down here in pieces. They're also insanely expensive. The average cost is $25 to $500 million a piece. Every single longwall is actually custom built for the mine that they're going to use it in. Now that means if a company cannot...
Come on, move. Keep moving.
Bring it.
getting longer, and those spirit voices whisper in us heart. Haven't you noticed the rays? The spirit sun is stronger, and the new day is dawning for us all. Hummingbird, don't fly away, fly away. Hummingbird, don't fly away, fly away. Alas, here comes the gardener.